If you've been injured, the insurance company that you hear from is not there to help you.
Don't get bullied by insurance companies. Call Jason Ernest and bully them back at 775-727-9500.
We haven't had a grand jury in decades. People were saying to me when I was running, are you going to do a grand jury? You should do a grand jury. And I didn't know, and I was kind of like, meh. But now that I've been in office, almost 2.5 years, I see the need for it. What it does, the way the grand jury works, is basically, as an example, the DA will make a presentation to the grand jurors and possibly witnesses, other evidence, and then the grand jury makes a determination on the basis of that whether or not to issue an indictment. If the DA would have to show probable cause, you could call that slight or marginal evidence, or evidence that suggests that the person probably did it. It's a much lower standard than reasonable doubt at a trial. And if the DA's office is able to do that, the person is indicted. They go to the district court for trial. During the grand jury proceedings, the grand jurors can ask questions of both the DA and the witnesses. So the grand jury definitely gets involved, and they make the decision. And one of the things that's really important about this is I can bring stuff to the grand jury, and I don't have to depend on other entities. So it's going to help me in some of the cases that really need to, or things that need to be looked into. And another thing that's good about the grand jury is the proceedings are secret. So let's say that we make a presentation, and it turns out that, and let's just say the person we're looking at, the person you would be looking at is called a target. Let's say that the target is Fred Flintstone, just to pick a random example, and it turns out that after we make the presentation that Fred didn't really do too much wrong, and so there's no need to, the grand jury decides we're not going to do an indictment, and that's called no true bill. The indictment's true bill. And anyway, at that point, Fred's name has not been dragged through the mud. He hasn't been perp walked. He hasn't been cuffed.
Yeah.
There hasn't been all this media attention at the very beginning, and Fred's rights have been protected.
Yeah.
On the other hand, if Fred is indicted, then we find out, but at that point we know that there's enough to go to trial, so it's not exactly a secret. So I think it's a win-win. It's a great thing, and I'm very excited about it.